public stands one nation under God, indivisible, free and justice for all.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Supervisor Muslim here. Trustee Adams
Here.
Trustee Case.
Here.
Trustee Shaw.
Here.
Trustee Spears.
Here.
Yes, for a minute. Oh, yes, we are going to be recording meetings going forward. It helps with transparency. It helps with meeting minutes. I think it's been requested by the League of Women Voters as well. Sherry, can you hear it? Okay, so just wanted to let you know we're recording this, and yeah, also we seated this way at this meeting so that the public can hear us better. And I think Administrator Curcio is talking to our IT support about possibly incorporating a microphone system in a better way so that we can all be heard clearly.
Thank you.
You good?
Yeah, I thought you had some of it.
So,
Okay. We're going to start the public hearing on Northfield Township Special Police District 2025 tax levy truth and taxation. As I mentioned at our last meeting, we had some reserves in our special police district levy. Last 2 years, we levied $1,000 and $500 in total each year because I was trying to pass legislation with the help of our local legislators to allow the special police district levy to be used for other sort of public safety measures, which is hiring Cook County Sheriff's officers, which we already do, and we're very grateful for cooperation with Cook County, or working with Cook County Sheriff's Office. So the bill we were working on, it passed and was signed into law this summer. And now that we have more flexibility in using the special police district levy, we are going to go back to, so that we don't lose the levy, because we lowered it for 2 years. We're going to go back to what it was before. And that shows as a pretty high percentage, but it's really going back to what it was before, which is an average of $50, so $10, sorry, an average of $10 per household in unincorporated areas of the township. So that is just the history of it, and but the clerk can confirm that we did publish notice.
yep, we published on Thursday, November 27th in the Glenview and North Park editions of the local newspaper.
Thank you. So now I need a motion to open the public forum of the Northfield Township Special Police District tax levy.
Motion. Second.
Do you have any comments? Testimony? Okay, cool. So to adjourn. Motion to adjourn the public hearing for the Northfield Township Special Police District tax levy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Thank you. Now committing the township board meeting. Motion to approve minutes of the November 18, 2025 regular township board meeting.
Motion. Second.
Any notes or corrections to that?
We had one typo that Assessor Melly and I identified. There is one point in the minutes where it says $7,000 and it should say 70,000. This is partly why we're working on the microphone system, so I am correcting that.
Thank you. So, we need to make a motion to approve the minutes of November 18, 2025 regular township board meeting as amended.
Motion. Second.
Supervisor Mosenzade,
Yes.
trustee Ottenheimer,
Yes.
trustee Pace,
Yes.
trustee Shack,
Yes.
trustee Spears.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Need a motion to recess the regular township board meeting?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Not convening the school board meeting. Vote to approve the Northfield Township sanitary sewer systems baseline plan for November 2025.
Motion. Second.
Any discussion on those?
So I reviewed the bills and
Trustee Shack.
reviewed the bills and everything matched up and didn't have any follow-up questions.
Good, thank you. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Mosenzade,
Yes.
trustee Ottenheimer,
Yes.
trustee Pace,
Yes.
trustee Shack,
Yes.
trustee Spears.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you. Is there any old business?
Old business, the generators were cleaned up and gone through. They did have to replace a couple of batteries. For the old business, everything went fine with the smoke testing. If there was any questions about that, answer that. And then I got news. Is there any question about the smoke testing? For new business, the group that I had come out with the check generators, I'd like to hire them for doing maintenance for the generators. So they'd be coming out twice a year. Just do routine maintenance. The second time they come out, when they do the routine maintenance, they will actually load testing the generators to make sure that they're running at 100% capability. So I think it's a wise thing to do. Next new business, I want to drop the AT&T phone lines, and we're in the process of doing that.
Okay, great, because I have seen that they are totally going to discontinue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you for working on that. Actually was on my to-do list to talk to you about it this week, so you beat me to it. Thank you. As far as new business, we do need a motion to approve the contract with Midwest Power Industry for generator service and maintenance at the two sanitary sewer district lift stations in the amount of $2,150.
Motion. Second.
Any discussions? Well, just explain. So it was all for. Okay, roll call, please.
Supervisor Mosenzade,
Yes.
trustee Ottenheimer,
Yes.
trustee Pace,
Yes.
trustee Shack,
Yes.
trustee Spears.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to adjourn the sewer board meeting?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
Thank you. Now reconvening the township board meeting.
I confirm the board is here and present. I believe we have two. Yep. Same in the,
Move to approve the Northfield Township Town Fund Bills and Claims for November 2025.
Motion. Second.
Any discussion on those?
That's all I said.
Trustee Shack.
I said with Administrator Crucio, reviewed the bills, had some questions we went along, all the questions were answered, everything matched up. No problem.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Mosenzade,
Yes.
trustee Ottenheimer.
Yes.
Trustee Pace,
Yes.
trustee Shack.
Yes.
Trustee Spears.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Move to approve the Northfield Township Road and Bridge Fund Bills and Claims for November 2025.
Motion. Second.
Any discussion on those? Trustee Shack.
Reviewed the district bills, with Wally. And, everything matched up. There was one piece of backup that wasn't in there that, Commissioner Corman sent over today, so that matched up fine. So no issues with any of those. There was there were 2 additional bills that were added in the board packet that weren't there on Friday, and I got the backup for those. So I think that process worked well. I know we still can continue streamlining the process. There was also the balance from previous bills that we want to go forward with this bill and this month. The one commissioner we talked about was the Proton server. And we were wondering if you could explain more of the reason for the need for the separation of the server for that.
So I'll just say there are really 2 separate topics. So the Proton subscription is intended for privileged and confidential communications between the new road district attorney and myself at the recommendation of the new road district attorney. So that is what that subscription is. The conversation about a partitioned server between the township and the road district is a different conversation. That's with line layer 9, the telecommunications provider. They will have a partition when we make our transition to having a proper computer network at the road district garage. There will be a partition for the road district, and there'll be a partition for the township. It'll be the same, in all likelihood, the same appliance, but it would not allow me to review the township emails, and likewise, it wouldn't allow you to monitor and review, especially privileged and confidential information for the road district.
And then at that time, the Proton would no longer be necessary.
Correct.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Any other questions about that and why there's a need for the separation?
2 minutes.
Clearly, yes.
So just to clarify, partly for the minutes, and partly for my own understanding,
And could you speak louder, please?
sure. Is the Proton an email or is it a server? Can you explain what exactly that is and why being on a different email would have anything to do with attorney-client privilege?
I think I probably need to leave that to my attorney.
Yeah, so the idea is it's just a separate email service. So it's like any email service that hosts like a separate domain, right? So you can go and sign up and you get an email account. It's just that only the commissioner has access to, right? So my understanding is for the township, when there's a shared domain, right, there's an administrator who can go in and check those emails, right? So in this case, like the township, whoever the point of contact, there's not a partitioned server, right? There's one person who has access and you can kind of intermingle. So it creates separation between the entities.
That makes sense. Thank you. So is it correct that we have an administrator that can access our emails?
HTML only. I mean, we can't access the road district emails.
Or any of our emails? Does somebody have the login, like for my email? Is it?
Or the admin is on our Google Workspace account would be able to do that. Yes.
Okay, I guess I'm just trying to understand why it is any different for the road district than it is for the township. If it's an outside administrator, they can access my emails with Ross as well. So I'm trying to understand why it's any different. And I'm not trying to start something, but I don't understand the difference. It's not like somebody in the township has access to our emails.
Well, yeah, but it could be admitted. So in this case, it sounds like maybe perhaps you're more technologically savvy than I am, but I think the idea is, right, there's someone who, if it's on one account, right, it's a joint account. In this case, the road district's a separate legal entity, right? And so whereas the clerk's office isn't necessarily a mistake, Ross, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But the idea is, as a separate legal entity, right, I want to keep separation to ensure that privilege between the 2 entities, right? So that there's no risk.
I have the same privilege with Ross that Commissioner Corman has with you, and I don't need a separate server for myself.
So
I'm still not following.
Right, so
Nobody on the township, on this board or on staff is an administrator of the.
sure, but they can request, right? And they can request that the administrator provide that. So who's the administrator? I mean, I don't know.
Okay,
You understand what I'm saying? Is that there's someone
that was the missing piece for
theoretically who
me.
can control
That was, yes, now I understand. Okay, thank you.
trying to get me to, it's like trying to get me to do math.
Yeah, I just
Why
didn't know,
became one?
it came across that somebody in this room was able to get into our emails, and I just wanted to make clear that's not the case.
No, it would be someone from the top, right? I mean, just right.
Not from the
anyone.
township.
It could be a line later nine,
Could be.
could be the.
It would be an external, but I just wanted to make clear for the record that nobody in this room has access to our emails nor to yours.
But they could request it.
Correct, that's why I was asking. Thank you.
So this is a question more for you, since it's been a while since I practiced law. I mean, first, it sort of strikes me as overkill, but maybe I don't understand. The precipitating factor. I mean, just because you communicate with an attorney doesn't mean that that's privileged information. So, right? I mean, there are categories of privilege, and there's a lot of information that you and I could talk about that's not privileged.
Right. I mean,
Yeah. So unless you're like anticipating a boatload of litigation, it just sort of strikes me as unnecessary.
Any asking of advice for advice is then privilege. You know, asking what the weather's like is not necessary, but
Sure,
any sort of,
but you could do that using your regular.
Well, he doesn't ask me what the weather's like. I'd like it if you reach out to him. Right, but he's reaching out. I mean, it's primarily for advice. For me. I mean, open exclusively.
So as long as we're talking about that, that will be the next question. The bill for October services is over $20,000, legal services. The budget that you have for legal services this year is $10,000. Do you anticipate November being similar, less, more, and how much do you anticipate for the rest of the year?
So that's a difficult question to answer, because when I prepared the budget back in the late spring and getting ready for the transitions in May, I did not know that I was going to have to go through and do a legal analysis of the citation lake documentation, just like I've now done the legal and engineering analysis with an outside firm. That was new information to me that I didn't have at that time. And then subsequently, the MWRD $50 million project also needs both legal and engineering review, which are both underway. We also had we've been working diligently on the intergovernmental agreement with District 225. There's just been a lot of stuff in the last 60 days that has presented itself that I wasn't anticipating.
And the invoice is for 2 months. It's not just for one.
It was
It's through a certain.
$1,600 for September, $18,800 for October. It's a lot. It's the entire amount that the township has spent on legal services so far in the last 8 months is $20,000. And that's, close to half of our budget. So we're on track. Do you think you need to adjust your budget then?
I intend to follow up with the budget amendment at the appropriate time.
When do you think that would be?
I'll defer to my attorney on the timing of it.
Just
Well, this board has to prove that. This has to.
Right. When do you think you would want to have your budget amended?
Placed on the agenda and.
I understand. I'm relying on my attorney's advice on this specific topic because he just shared this with me a half hour. I'm not an attorney.
So the idea is, my understanding is that no money has moved yet, right, between the line items on the road district's budget.
Right.
So you get up to 10%, and it sounds like, to me, again, the math is not my forte, but it sounds like we're within that 10%, so he can move line items around to adjust. And, I'll to make sure that, that line item is up, right, within the fund. So I think you should, I don't know that there's any necessity for an amendment. I think to the extent there's any necessity for an amendment, they can be handled. I don't know if you all do a cleanup amendment at the end of the year or anything, but I don't know what the anticipation, can't predict the future, but I don't anticipate that it'll be over 10%.
What?
10% of the fund. So,
Of the entire fund?
right, so you can move line items within the fund.
Within the 10% of the entire
Yeah. So I can expect that we're gonna get within, close to that.
Okay, I understand.
These bills are all from your firm?
Correct.
What do you expect to bill over the year?
Well, so I don't know that would be up to the commissioner. I'll defer to that. What do I expect to bill to the commissioner?
For all the things that we're gonna see on this piece of paper?
Well, so I can't share that information with you, right? It's a road district issue, not a township issue.
I mean, we do have to approve it eventually, so can you give us a ballpark for the public's benefit to know?
I cannot.
Okay.
I mean, you have to approve, whether he requested the expense, not whether it's an appropriate. I mean, and whether it's an appropriate expense for the highway commissioner. Not the amount, but whether it's too much or.
But when we're talking about over budget, that is within our.
Sure,
purview.
and I answered that question.
Anything else on this stuff? Then,
I guess one other question, and it sounds like that, well, I'll ask. I think we're gonna talk, last meeting, we talked about the road district levy. Do you still believe that that levy is, going forward, do you still believe that that's the right number to levy based on unexpected expenses that you
Should we get to that, the agenda point, or do you want to talk about it now?
either or, whatever the board wants. What's most appropriate?
The levy's being voted on tonight, it's
Yeah.
not. So it would make sense to discuss now unless attorney advises.
for when they're
I
voting,
would say at the time to
yes.
review and approve. levies.
Still talking about the bills.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only other thing I wanted to ask was, just in general about approving the expenses. I think the process was much more streamlined, this time than last time, but we talked about trying to do it a little bit earlier, having sign off from you on the bills. And hopefully have all the backup at the time, so if something gets added, letting the person reviewing the bills know. I don't think there's anything more formal than that necessarily we need, but you had talked about some kind of process that you're working on. Do you want to give us an update on that?
The only real update is that the process, the road district attorney and myself have submitted a process for review with the township. I think they're there for something on the order of 60 days. We're waiting for comments back. I think you're still
I
waiting for
think
comments
you're
back.
referring to different things. It hasn't been in process to measure. If you're talking about the purchase agreement, that's a completely different thing.
Okay, but I'm not. a
That
lawyer,
has
so I don't-
nothing to do.
So
with
let
it.
me rephrase the question. Okay. There's a document that you worked on. There's two different aspects it sounds like they were talking about. How to approve expenses that the township's being asked to approve, and purchasing policy for the road district. When you need to receive quotes and how you see quotes and that kind of, right? Where do those two different aspects of the process stand?
So I think, and I'll, don't get to stuff on your toes.
Not at all.
So I think the policy, right, it's a road district policy, right, that's been proposed, and it's a road district policy, so it's up to the commissioner to implement it. Part of that purchasing policy, right, is recognizes that this board has responsibility for auditing these bills, right? And so the idea is there's a element of that policy that says, we'll cooperate, we, the royal we, right, we'll cooperate with the board to make sure that you get the appropriate documentation that you're looking for. It sounds like you are working that process out, but so I think to the extent there's two elements, that it's a more of an informal process in terms of what's requested. But I think, that policy itself, we did submit that over to Ross, and I think Ross, I don't know if there's comments to it or if we're good to have any further comments on it, but.
We're working through a couple of just suggestions and we're still working through some of that advice and making sure. And I initially didn't realize when we first talked about it, I thought that's what you were just drafting and you were going to do. This is the road district policy. So we didn't. Fair.
No, and I'm not giving you a hard time about that.
Comments, right? No.
Anybody's going to talk about timing. So,
Yeah.
So I think the idea, it's been helpful to go through it two times with that, and we can formulate how that comes out of the policy. So I think that's the idea, to cooperate and make sure that you're getting documentation so that you can make sure, right, that these are the things that the commissioner's ordered, that they're things that are within his power, right, and that the receipts of the papers is actually received.
Okay, so that is all part of this document that Ross, you're
Yeah.
gonna get back. Okay. That's all I had on the pending.
Anything else?
Supervisor Wilson, trustee Ottenheimer,
Yes.
trustee Peace,
Yes.
trustee Chad,
Yes.
trustee Spears.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Motion to approve ordinance number 12-1-2025, certificate of annual Northfield Township tax levy, 2025 tax year.
Motion.
Second?
Do you have any discussions on that? We discussed all of this at the last board meeting. So this is just, taking the final vote.
Supervisor Mosenza.
Yes.
Trustee Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Trustee Pace.
Yes.
Trustee Shack.
Yes.
Trustee Spears.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Motion to approve ordinance number 12-2-2025, certificate of annual special police district tax levy, 2025 tax year.
Motion.
Second.
Do you have any discussions on those?
Supervisor Mosenza.
Yes.
Trustee Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Trustee Pace.
Yes.
Trustee Shack.
Yes.
Trustee Spears.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you. Motion to approve ordinance number 12-3-2025, certificate of annual Northfield Township Road District tax levy, 2025 tax.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Yes. Trustee Oppenheimer.
Same question. Given maybe some unexpected expenses that we've all learned about, does it still make sense that the levy is as presented, or does it make sense to change that levy?
So I have reevaluated based on current circumstances. We are just for broad generalities, we have about a $3 million reserve right now. We're expecting another $3 million to come in this year. That will be more than 2.5 times the recommended amount of reserve of annual expenses. And as you know, from the last commissioner, things were a little wonky. So I'm still trying to work those things out. I would also add we're down to headcount that I've not replaced. So there are savings there. There have been some technology savings with different tools that we've implemented. I feel confident that this number is still the right number.
And just what you're including, like, people give me a number, but let's say it's 18K every month, that's 200K.
But I can tell you that I do not anticipate that. I believe
They're now getting a number.
I believe that the October, in my view, not my attorney's view, necessarily, but my view, that October was significant because it was an on-ramp period to onboarding a new road district attorney.
Mhm. And even though that expense is way more than the original budget, you've got savings that you think will cover that, so no changes needed for this.
Correct.
Any questions? Any questions? Huh?
Okay. Supervisor Mosenza.
Yes.
Trustee Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Trustee Pace.
Yes.
Trustee Shack.
Yes.
Trustee Spears.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you. Motion to approve calendar year 2026 regular board meeting and town meeting dates.
Motion.
Second.
Do you have any discussion on those?
I'll be out of town for work.
Did you just any for the second Tuesday or they're all second Tuesdays?
They're all Tuesday.
So attorney's not.
You can change the meeting date. So that you can-
Okay. Any other? Trustee Shack, which date?
June 9th.
June 9th.
It's weird that I know that far in advance, but we just.
Okay. Okay.
World Cup, yeah, you know.
You're on. Okay, nothing else? Roll call, please.
Supervisor Mosenza.
Yes.
Trustee Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Trustee Pace.
Yes.
Trustee Shack.
Yes.
Trustee Spears.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Motion to approve, calendar year 2026 township holiday closing date.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion on those? Is there anything, Mr. Hershey, that you want to add?
I would just point out with the way the winter holidays are falling, both in November and then the December holidays, they fall Thursday, Friday, so we would be off for the long weekend. So in here, the proposal is the Mondays of that week to stay open till 7. So that'll give longer hours for the food pantry, so Thursday late hours, so that both office and food pantry can be open till 7. So that would be on the home foods are December 21st and December 20th. Oh, and I know it's the takeover.
Whatever, I can't, if we say Friday, December, let's just say December 25th. Under the winter holidays, I'd type out the 26th.
Christmas is still the 25th next year?
Yes, I know, it's not changing. So that's the only change.
What's in the book?
I know, I apologize. I didn't notice that.
It's a Wednesday.
Okay, so we've just made the amendment to Christmas still Friday. I mean, it is
Still
December
December
25th. December 25th. It is still December 25th. Nothing else? Roll call, please.
Supervisor Moses, okay.
Yes.
Trustee Oppenheimer,
Yes.
trustee Pace,
Yes.
trustee Shad, trustee.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Matters to be presented by the public. Ms. Latash.
Everyone. I'm not speaking as
That us or?
Gary Latash, League of Women Voters.
Can hear you.
Technical issue.
Can you hear me now?
Hold on, Sherry. We cannot hear you, so just.
Receiver optical.
You're not muted, are you?
No, I took myself off mute. Wait, turn off microphone.
All right, let's try it out of the. Let me see if it works.
Sherry, try talking, please.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Well, you're on the computer, but hold on, let me turn up the volume so everyone
Okay.
can hear you. All right, let's try it now.
Okay, can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear, yeah.
All right, well, my question is in my role as co-founder of Greener Glenview. I'm not sure, I don't know whether you're aware of a proposal that's before Glenview's new development commission tomorrow night. It's about redevelopment of the CVS property on Sanders Road, that entire parcel, which had been previously proposed for development by Dermody. It's technically, I mean, it is part of Incorporated Glenview, but they've done a traffic impact study and a noise study. And I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of it, because I know that people in the Citation Lakes neighborhood last time it was proposed for development were really concerned about both traffic and noise impacts. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention, that it's before Glenview's new development commission tomorrow.
Thank you. Very much appreciate it.
Oh, and also, it says that approval for the development has to be approved by the Northfield Woods Sanitary District. That's part of your purview, right?
No,
No?
for a separate sanitary sewer district.
Ah, okay. Never mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Latash, for sharing that information. Any other public comments? If not, is there any old business?
Mike, could you update us on the IGA? You mentioned earlier that it's been going on. Can you give us a status update on that?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, the framework of the intergovernmental agreement will be very, very similar to what was approved here previously with IPW-NAD. It'll be a mutual aid kind of relationship, staging areas, snow, plowing, borrowing of equipment, for different needs and uses. I'd like to make it clear from the election forward that I have a goal to be a partner with all of our local communities. A lot of the entities that I've spoken with, fire departments, police departments, had no idea there was a road district. So I'm trying to partner with the different entities in order to have those conversations and make sure that the community knows that we're a resource available to them. Most people that I talk to know it's only as a recycling center.
So who at the 225 are we communicating with, General?
Primarily Dr. R.J. Gravel, superintendent, Casey Wright, who's director of operations, who succeeded R.J. Gravel, and then Ron Bean, who is the director of security.
Got it. And did they have a draft? We're waiting on comment from them, or like, what's the?
I'm still waiting for my attorney to put the finishing touches on it. Their team is aware that it's in process.
So we haven't sent them a draft?
We have not.
Okay. And what are we communicating them about if there's no draft yet?
That it's coming. I wanted to have them prepared because it's got to go to their board as well.
Yeah, it's all we know right now. They're just waiting on something from us.
Correct.
You are the road district.
For the road district, yeah.
And then what about the person waiting on getting paid at that company? What's the communication status with them?
I communicated to them, copied the road district attorney on a communication today to make sure that I close that loop and let them know that the bill had been not approved in September, and that I'm working for them.
Yeah, they're just patiently waiting.
There's not much more we can do. I mean, they're going to charge the interest that they're entitled to charge to a municipal government. And I told them we're working on it as diligently as we can.
And what's our ETA on the changes you're working on, Mark?
So after, I believe there's a conversation today, so just confirming what the agreement was going to be. So I believe we'll have it on for you.
So we'll draft over to them to review by the end of the week. All right.
I committed to Dr. Gravel by the end of this school term. So that's a few weeks.
Okay.
To follow up on that, one of the things that I remember we talked about, I believe in September, in that meeting was within the IGA having them contribute some dollars. I think we looked a little bit at some of their reserves and some of their numbers. Within the IGA, are we asking them for a partial compensation for the cost?
So the way the IPW man one works is that it's typically there's not a dollar amount tied one way or the other. I'll leave it to the attorney to have more information.
So there doesn't necessarily have to be, right? So on a legal perspective and consideration, right, it's a consideration. So if there's I don't know that.
But just to be clear, and sorry to interrupt, this has already happened. So
Understood.
this is the cleanup work for a mistake that was made. So consideration. So what is the consideration here?
So I think the consideration would be that, this is part of an ongoing transaction between the road district and the school district.
So with IPW, it is, we call on them when we need them, and they call on us when they need us. What is the school district is going to be doing for unincorporated residents of Northfield Township who are the ones paying the taxes for road district services?
Well, what are they going to be doing under the agreement?
Right.
Is that I'm just making.
Right. It's because the commissioner is comparing that to the IPW.
Sure, so I
and
think
it just doesn't make sense to me. That's a mutual aid.
Yeah, right. So I think, well, some of the.
This is a free service we've provided, actual valuable monetary service that we provided with having an agreement in place.
But without a written agreement in place, right? And I think the idea is that, there would be an exchange of, we talked like a staging area for the parking lots, to use the parking lots as a staging area for snow plowing, for other things, if that need comes around, or for equipment sharing between the school district and the road district and things like that.
Well, they had budgeted for this work. They had budgeted, it's in their budget, I believe 14,000 for them to have done the work already. I know we got one quote and just the road district, the road district spent 25,000 on it. So my recommendation would be, instead of parking, asking them to let us park there, which doesn't make sense. That's incorporated Glenview. Perhaps asking them to at least contribute what they had already budgeted in their budget to do the work.
Yes. So if I may, just so taking away the legalese, because that wasn't my question. My question was back in just, high level, back in September, we said, hey, can we get them to contribute some money? So I guess the question is, are we asking them to contribute money? And it sounds to me, based on that, the answer is no. We're asking for something else. Is my understanding correct based on, I believe
What I can tell you is I can't make a commitment for the school district. I can tell you that I will be asking.
Okay, that's okay. And then is there a dollar amount you're gonna ask for? I think we had talked, and I have to go back and I don't remember full disclosure. I think we talked about maybe I'm doing half, or if I think about a negotiation, right, I would ask for maybe even a little bit more, but I'll leave that to you. But it sounds like you are going to ask for a dollar
It's part of that process, as long as it doesn't violate in any way the IPTV intergovernmental agreement that's similar to IPWMAN, which is very specific. If we come in mutual aid for another governmental entity, we bear those costs. I just want to make sure I don't find another legal.
I'm just,
You're in the process of drafting that, so you can decide what to put in there. Why would it violate a prior agreement? I'm not understanding. What prior?
There is no
agreement?
prior agreement.
Exactly. So why are you saying as long as it doesn't violate the mutual aid agreement?
The one that we signed, I'm not an attorney, as you all know. What I'm suggesting is the IPWMAN agreement, which is what I understand we're building this agreement on, does not have a dollar value transaction.
Well,
There can be a sub agreement that addresses that.
So
Okay, first of all, so we had agreed to run these meetings that the supervisor is going to acknowledge people to speak. It gets very difficult to record meeting minutes when everybody's talking. Do you mind clarifying, is this intergovernmental agreement separate from one that will cover the work that was done? And is there a reason why it wouldn't include the amount that you're asking? Usually an intergovernmental agreement includes the specific amount of the work being done. Is this a separate, are there two separate agreements happening? Shiva.
I'm trying to follow.
Sorry.
So here's what I'll say. It's a bit of background, right? I mean, so I think there's confusion, right? When you say the highway commissioner is Seth, right?
I am his
No,
clerk.
I'm
I'm his clerk as well.
You are his clerk as well, right? But the road district is separate. Right, so
But I would be signing that IGA, and so I'm asking as his clerk.
Please don't interrupt. I'm trying to build
I know, I'm just clarifying for the record that I am a clerk signing that.
I'm trying to answer your questions. That's all. So.
I'm not being
I know.
confrontational, I'm just saying this is not separate for me.
But we know that clerk signs intergovernmental.
It's not
Of course, I know, of course. I'm just saying, so that they're separate, right? So the idea is there's an intergovernmental agreement, so services were performed, right? And there's the conversations that have been ongoing between the commissioner and the school district, right? Since before September, since before this work was performed. Right, and our goal is to get a transaction right in place and documented that's written that's satisfactory to the commissioner, right? And the commissioner has come to you and he's heard you out, right? And so he's going to go back. I think what he said specifically is that he's going to request a specific dollar amount. He doesn't know what that may be, but that would turn up in the same agreement. The idea is to have one agreement that memorializes, right, and documents the transactions that have occurred and that will occur in the future.
Thank you.
Trustee Shack.
So
I just want to reiterate one thing that was put into the October 14th memorandum, just so we're all on the same page with the statement. The township board expresses its strong opposition to any past plan or future program or expenditure for which you are responsible that essentially gives or grants taxpayer funds to another unit of government, especially another unit of government that is also funded primarily through property taxes and over which the road district shares no jurisdictional overlap or control. So to make sure we're all on the same page with that.
Trustee Spears.
That's sort of to what my question was. I just want to make sure that whatever IGA you're developing goes to this singular event, this volunteering of, striping the parking lot and everything. And it's not, doesn't anticipate doing the same thing again or future things and everything. It is just to clean up that one event in the building, right?
Well, I can't speak to that necessarily. And to be clear, you all absolutely have the right to object in principle to it, right? But it's the commissioner's sole discretion whether he wants to sign it. It's sole discretion whether he wants to sign that intergovernmental agreement, right? It's his decision, so you have no input over that.
I will make that very clear for the record. If I see another bill here without any quotes where we're getting the road district commissioner finds it out of the goodness of his heart to hand over another taxing body free money from his constituents, when that comes in front of me, to me, that is against his authority. I don't, regardless of whatever intergovernmental agreement is entered into for consideration of $1 to spend $25,000 for the benefit of another taxing body, if that is in front of this board will not be approving that. So please make a note of that and advise your client accordingly for all future such intergovernmental agreements that I keep hearing him wanting to enter into. And please also, let's all be clear that the road district commissioner for unincorporated is that he is the road district commissioner for unincorporated areas only. So the fact that someone in the village of Columbia does not know who he is, it is because they have no dealings with him. He has no jurisdiction over their roads. The only benefit he does offer the whole township is the recycling. And that's why they know about that.
Well, he gives them a portion of his levy as well.
Yes,
Right,
that he
yeah.
collects from them,
Right.
but this is
And he does have the
and he
power
gives it back.
under the Intergovernmental Agreement Act, right? Cooperation Act to share his powers, right? And so it is in his discretion if there's consideration.
There's sharing his powers, there's a mutual benefit. I would like to see that mutual benefit.
I understand that, and that's why I'm just clarifying that when I spoke, I said pursuant to that act, pursuant to it. And I'm not saying, I don't speak for the commissioner, on whether that is true or not.
Okay,
Right, I'm
but
just
I
saying,
will just make it
hypothetically.
clear that this has been months now. He was sworn in May, and I feel like Commissioner Corman still not really appreciating and understanding his jurisdictional authority. And no intergovernmental agreement is gonna just bestow upon him more powers than he has under statute. Yeah, trustee. Oppenheimer, yes, thank you.
So, so just to be clear, right? One, I guess we'll do more yes or no, if that's okay. One, yes or no. You are asking District 225 for compensation, correct? For the striping project.
I intend to have a conversation with them to understand a possible contribution, yes.
Great. And then two, this is new to me, but it sounds like there's conversations about other potential projects. I'm going to ask, and I want to make the assumption that if there are any other projects, that an IGA will be entered in prior to awarding business.
Without question, I never want to go through this again.
I was gonna say, without question, I think, and, my advice, and the first thing that the commissioner says, I want to share. So if I ever have a project like this again, I understand I'm gonna go through. And I tell them, we don't have to do that, but it is a good idea, right? It is a good idea because it prevents these situations.
And I agree, and that would lead to number three, and this is, I think, the supervisor was talking about as well. I think, in order, we can talk about the legality of everything, but then we could talk about the practicality of everything. And practically speaking, I think it's better to get buy-in ahead of time from everybody before sole decisions are made. Because whether you have authority, don't have authority, we have authority, don't have authority. To me, I think it's having those discussions ahead of time, and having those conversations, not just with the board, but even with constituents as well, or our citizens, to make sure that one, this is what the folks in our township want, and then two, making sure that all of us are aligned, and so we can all march to the same beat, whether or not we're separate entities or not. I firmly believe, and I think I hope I'm speaking for the board, is that we are seen as, whether we want to be seen as two, we are really seen as one. And we have to, I strongly believe we have to work together in order to, in order to make sure we're successful.
Thank you, Trustee Days.
I want to speak as an unincorporated resident. I don't like these tax dollars going elsewhere. I look at it as taking money away from the roads in front of my house and moving somebody else I'm already paying taxes to. And I don't think I'm alone in it. So forget the legality, forget all this stuff. Just as a practical matter, I don't think our unincorporated taxpayers want to see their money getting shifted around. I appreciate your desire to help, but I don't think it's your job, or should we put on the bill of this road system. To that end, I'd like to propose a negotiating strategy. Start with pay the full thing, the 225, and absolute worst case, get them to pay with their budget. I would like to see the first draft of your agreement to have that in there, starting with the highest number. Let them walk it back, they probably will, but the fallback should actually be what they already budgeted. It's already approved, right? So we should be able to at least get that. I think.
Okay, if nothing else, moving on to new business. I'd like to thank Assessor Nally and the staff for reopening for bid for Board of Review. Yeah. Thank you for doing the great work you do. Do you have anything? Oh, yes. Okay.
Can you,
I would also like to acknowledge that our administrator, Gail Curcio, celebrated 20 years in the township on Friday. And she has done great work over 20 years, and she really is the one we go to for anything that's been done in the past, how it should be done, for advice. And really, really want to acknowledge and appreciate you for everything you've given to the township. And I know you're well loved by everyone, the staff. So thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Administrator Curcio has also mentioned she has no interest in opening or moving the food pantry again.
Well, I need to say it 3 times is enough.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I offered to thank Administrator Curcio for the lunch on her anniversary, and then she just wanted to review the township bills. So that's how we celebrate.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Assessor Nally.
Okay, so you all heard the great news, right? What to do in your infinite wisdom, because they were down on the number of appeals, and we said they're all down on appeals. So what did they do? They decided, let's open again for appeals, and told us at 4 o'clock the day before that we were opening the next day. I am open right now for appeals until Friday. It's quiet still. I've done maybe 15 appeals in the last, help talk to people. Most of the time people are like, yes, you already appealed, you're not crazy, you did already appeal, it's in there, it's okay. They explained that they did it. Our commissioner, Samantha Steele, explained to me they did it because they felt that people didn't realize they had to appeal because tax bills were so late. Although tax bills have been late 2 other years prior to this, and we didn't open again. So anyway, in the infinite wisdom, I don't think this is going to change the needle on the number of appeals that have happened with the board review. I think appeals are down overall. As I spoke at the last board meeting, I feel it's because values are actually getting more consistent. So I think that's part of the reason. So that's that. So we're busy. Second thing, I just want to let you all know that I start my new term January 1st. So I start my new 4-year term. So I've asked Supervisor Wilson-Sage if it's okay if I'm sworn in at the January board meeting, like 15 minutes before the board meeting. So if you all can come early, please. And Clerk Cleveland is going to swear me in. Okay. So thank you very much. 4 more years.
Thank you. Commissioner Corman?
Three just very brief things. One, you've seen in the packet, and we've discussed it, I think, for 2 months or 3 months prior, the $350,000 check for DeMayo Brothers for the Citation Lake project for MWRD to reimburse us. They asked for that expenditure, MWRD asked for that expenditure to be front-loaded in this calendar year. That's their budget year. So that's now resolved and the check is been presented. Second is we've had 17 inches of snow so far. It is more than we had in either of the last 2 years. And we're just getting started. So if you haven't thought about preparations for snow, it'd be a good time to start. Because I think it's going to be a significant, could be a significant year.
On that note, Mike, if I could jump in. I drive every day, I drive unincorporated roads, county roads, and village roads, right? So I can see all three every day. Mike has been matching or beating the village and the county every single time. So our roads are plowed.
I give that credit to Wally and staff.
Do you guys do technique? Technique? Oh, sorry.
That's
No.
okay.
And let's see, I think that's it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Administrator Percy.
Thank you. So I do want to thank everybody for Friday, everyone I heard from acknowledging my 20 years here at the township. The staff was great, did a wonderful, nice little things to me. So I really appreciate it. It started 20 years ago as the admin assistant and then community outreach, and now I'm here. So it's been a road, and we've done a lot of great things. I'm so happy as where the township is now from when I started 20 years ago at 3801 Westlake. So we've done a lot of changes, but yes, I do not want to move the pantry again. So if we can hold off on that the next few years, that'd be great. So I want to thank you all again. Just a few things I want to touch on. That one storm we had with the really strong winds. One of the lampposts on the parkway when I came in was moving very much in the wind and it was leaning on a tree. We had our lighting company come out, take it down. There was some discussion about whose lamppost it is, but I talked with or confirmed with attorney Matt and Ross. So we are responsible for the parkways from Wesley all the way down here and along Waukegan. So it is our lamp pole. We will have to have the company come out and put it back up. And when they're here, we're going to have them take care of the strobing lights that are out and also check the rest of the lamp posts on the parkway, because what we found when they check these is that the bolts that are holding them in are corroding from the 25 years this building has been here and the salt and stuff. So we'll probably have to do some fixing on that to keep them from falling down. But we got it down before it fell down on anyone or damage anything. So I heard they're pretty pricey to replace. So
just FYI.
FYI, that repair is coming. We're waiting for the quote. And then I mentioned at the last meeting that we were doing a partnership with North Suburban Legal Aid for the temporary guardianship. Unfortunately, we had only one person register, and they were also having trouble finding attorneys to volunteer their time. So we paused it until the spring. Ian wants to do something in the springtime. So we're gonna touch base. Hilda was pretty disappointed. She did a lot of outreach. And she was working with the social workers at District 31, at 34. We hosted the crisis response team for the North Shore, which is clinicians and social workers from various mental health agencies and the school districts, and we were talking about it there and stuff. So she was kind of disappointed, but we're going to revisit in the spring. And that's it. Thank you.
Communication outreach coordinator.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Just a short report today. It is the middle of December, but we have more outreach events. Yay! We're co-hosting a blood drive on Thursday, which will be held at the Wilmette Park District. So Trustee Shack has kindly offered to, it's 12 to 6 on Thursday. He's offered for us to go from noon to 3, and then I will go from 3 to 6, and we'll kind of gauge the participation, see how it goes. We will, like I said, have just an outreach table there, be able to talk to people if they have any questions about the township. But as one of the sponsors, we're happy to be there and try to spread the word about township services. And then on Saturday, the 13th is, I believe it's called a health insurance fair. And it's, again, we're kind of, we were invited to participate in this. They kindly assist Sister Nellie, and then our caseworker Hilda Morales will be staffing that for us on Saturday from 9 to 2. So hopefully they get a good turnout. It's a bit of a time commitment, but it's our first time doing that one too. So I'll be curious to see what sort of response they get to that fair. We will be having an internal staff meeting this week to sort of prep and set our calendar for outreach events for 2026. So if anybody has anything you'd like to add or thoughts, please shoot me an email or chat, and I'm happy to put them in consideration for next year's outreach calendar. And then just a little report on the Human Services Review Commission. All the 13 commissioners have their agency assignments and their applications, and have already gotten a few back. So they are well into the process of reviewing those, talking with their agencies, things like that. So I should just mention, if anybody wants to give blood on Thursday, we have a bunch of slots still open, so they're trying to get those filled. So 12 to 6 should be on our social media. It should be pretty much everywhere. If you want to find more information, I'm happy to share it too. So, any questions?
How is the intended Qantas's 150 or 60 or celebration?
I was not able to go. I was at Rotary. That Rotary does the monthly food collection.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you. If nothing else, thanks for the make a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And the meeting adjourns at 7:02 p.m.
Bye, Sherry.
Bye, Sherry.
Bye.
I have to figure out